The internet nearly broke last night when Kirk Frost did the unthinkable. Out of nowhere, he dropped a selfie that has fans gasping, jaws dropping, and Rasheeda allegedly storming out of the Frost household. The photo wasn't just any casual snap, it featured Jasmine Washington, the same woman who once turned Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage into national reality TV chaos. Within minutes, that single image spread like wildfire across every blog and gossip page imaginable, setting off a wave of speculation that the couple's decade-long struggle with trust might be crumbling all over again. People can't stop talking about the expression on Kirk's face in the photo. Some say he looked smug, almost proud, while others swear there was a flicker of guilt in his eyes. But what truly made everyone's hearts drop was Jasmine's reflection standing close enough for no one to call it coincidence. The caption, just 3 words, full circle moment. And that's when the internet exploded. Comments flooded in faster than Kirk could refresh the page. He didn't just do that to Rasheeda, one fan wrote. This man is addicted to drama. Another posted, Rasheeda deserves peace, not dossier vu. According to insiders, Rasheeda saw the selfie before it even went viral. She was reportedly in the middle of filming a promo segment for her store when her phone started blowing up. Witnesses say her face changed instantly, first disbelief, then a calm so cold it terrified everyone around her. Moments later, she walked out, leaving the cameras rolling and her team speechless. Some crew members claim she muttered, "He's not about to play me twice," before disappearing into her car. But the real question tearing fans apart is why now? Why would Kirk, after years of trying to rebuild his image as a loyal husband and devoted father, choose to post something guaranteed to reopen old wounds? Was it a publicity stunt gone wrong, a secret collaboration, or something deeper brewing behind the scenes? Even those close to the couple are divided. Some insist Kirk has been under pressure to stay relevant in the love and hip-hop spotlight, while others whisper that there's more to his connection with Jasmine than he's ever admitted publicly. Meanwhile, Jasmine herself hasn't helped calm the chaos. Just hours after Kirk's selfie surfaced, she posted a cryptic story on Instagram, a boomerang of her smiling in the same outfit from the picture. Captioned, "No regrets." The timing couldn't be more suspicious, and fans immediately began connecting the dots. Now, social media is buzzing with wild theories, from reconciliation rumors to secret projects, and even speculation that Kirk and Jasmine have been meeting privately for weeks. One thing's for sure, this isn't just another throwback gone wrong. This is the kind of move that could blow up years of repaired trust and send Rasheeda straight back into the emotional storm she fought so hard to escape. And if the whispers coming out of Atlanta are true, that selfie may be just the beginning of a scandal no one saw coming. The storm inside Rasheeda's world started quietly. But when that selfie hit the internet, everything she had spent years trying to rebuild began to shake again. Kirk Frost, the man she once defended through endless cheating rumors, child support drama, and televised tears, had just reignited the very fire she thought she had finally put out. The photo of him standing beside Jasmine Washington wasn't just an image. It was a spark that reopened every scar from their painful past. By sunrise, Atlanta blogs had already declared a new Frost scandal. And within hours, #Kirk and Jasmine was trending again. Fans were dissecting every pixel, analyzing Jasmine's reflection, Kirk's smirk, and that haunting caption, "Full circle moment." Rasheeda hadn't even wanted to believe it at first. She sat alone in her office at Preset, scrolling through the comments, each one cutting a little deeper than the last. "He's doing it again," one fan wrote. "She deserves better." Another posted, "This woman fought for her marriage, and he's still embarrassing her." Her phone buzzed non-stop with messages from friends, co-stars, and even producers from Love and Hip Hop trying to confirm whether the rumors were true. But Rasheeda wasn't answering. She couldn't. Not yet. Inside her chest, her heart pounded so hard it drowned out everything else. When Kirk finally walked through the front door later that evening, the tension was so thick you could feel it in the air. He knew she'd seen it. He didn't even try to play dumb. "Babe, it's not what it looks like," he said, his voice trembling between guilt and defense. Rasheeda turned to him, eyes cold, voice low. "You took a selfie with her, Kirk. What exactly is it supposed to look like?" For a moment, he tried to explain, said it was for a business meeting, said Jasmine had reached out for closure. But Rasheeda had heard those words before. Closure, business, misunderstanding. The same words that had nearly destroyed their marriage once. Rumors began swirling that Jasmine had been back in touch with Kirk for months, supposedly about their son. But people close to the situation claimed the tone of their conversations had shifted. Insiders whispered that Kirk had been checking in more than necessary, and Jasmine had been seen near one of his studio properties more than once in the past few weeks. When photos of her car outside one of his Atlanta studios leaked online, fans went wild. The narrative was already forming. Kirk was falling into old habits. One fan commented, "He can't help himself. He wants the attention." Another wrote, "Rasheeda needs to wake up. She's too loyal to someone who keeps testing her." But it wasn't just the public feeding the flames. Friends close to Rasheeda reportedly warned her not to give Kirk the benefit of the doubt this time. "He's playing with your image now," one insider allegedly told her. "He knows you're respected, and this makes you look like a fool again." According to those same sources, Rasheeda broke down during a phone call with her mom, saying she felt publicly humiliated all over again. The betrayal wasn't just emotional, it was strategic. Because only hours after Kirk's post went viral, Jasmine began teasing a new project on her social media, hinting at real conversations and the truth finally coming out. Fans instantly connected the dots, convinced Jasmine and Kirk were secretly collaborating on something big, maybe a podcast, maybe a reality spin-off, maybe even a tell-all series about the past they'd tried to bury. As the story spread, the Frost family's private life became an open battlefield. Their older kids reportedly confronted Kirk, asking why he would post something so damaging when he knew how fragile the family's peace had been. One source claimed Kirk brushed it off, saying, "People read too much into everything," but his calm attitude only made things worse. Rasheeda's silence online became deafening. She stopped posting her usual fashion updates and family clips, leaving fans desperate for a sign of how she was coping. Meanwhile, Jasmine's followers began skyrocketing overnight, with people filling her comments with messages like "You knew exactly what you were doing," and "Girl, this is messy even for you." A week after the post, Kirk finally broke his silence in a short Instagram live session. He looked tired but defiant. "Y'all gotta stop running with narratives," he said. "Everything ain't about drama. Sometimes two people can be in the same room and it not mean what y'all think." But the internet wasn't buying it. In fact, his attempt to calm the fire only poured gasoline on it. Fans flooded his comments accusing him of gaslighting Rasheeda again. "Same Kirk, same story," one wrote. "He always plays the victim." Behind the scenes, Rasheeda's inner circle began urging her to make a move to separate herself publicly before her brand took another hit. She had built her business empire on strength, independence, and resilience. This scandal threatened to undo years of hard work. According to a close associate, Rasheeda was torn between protecting her peace and protecting her marriage. She wanted to believe Kirk, but every instinct told her she was being played again. In private, she reportedly told a friend, "I don't even know if I'm angry or just tired. I thought we were past this." The tension reached its breaking point when Jasmine uploaded a short behind-the-scenes clip, showing her and Kirk laughing on what appeared to be a set. Fans instantly recognized Kirk's voice in the background, saying, "Nah, we're good. It's just full circle." The clip spread like wildfire. Blogs reposted it with captions like proof they're working together and Kirk caught lying again. Rasheeda's team reportedly tried to reach Jasmine's camp to demand the video be taken down, but Jasmine didn't respond. Instead, she doubled down, posting a new caption that read, "Truth always wins." That was the final straw. By that night, Kirk was sleeping in a separate room. Rasheeda's patience had reached its limit. She didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She just went quiet. And that silence said more than any argument ever could. Kirk tried to approach her, but she stopped him cold. "You had one job," she said softly, "to make sure I never had to relive that pain. And you failed." Her words hung in the air, heavy and final. He tried to respond, but there was nothing left to say. The damage was already done. While fans were busy analyzing every move online, producers from Love and Hip Hop reportedly saw an opportunity. They began reaching out to both Kirk and Jasmine separately, hinting that if they were willing to tell their sides, the show could center a new season around redemption, betrayal, and closure. Insiders claimed Kirk was tempted, thinking it could help him control the narrative. But Rasheeda, still reeling from humiliation, refused. She didn't want her marriage reduced to another storyline. She told producers she needed time to think, though many believe she's already made up her mind. Meanwhile, Jasmine has been enjoying the attention. Her followers have doubled, and she's been spotted attending more public events than usual, often smiling when reporters ask about Kirk. She hasn't confirmed or denied anything, but her smirks tell their own story. Some say she's just stirring the pot for clout, while others believe she's plotting something bigger. Comeback no one expected. Either way, the emotional toll on Rasheeda is clear. Those close to her say she's been focusing on her sons, keeping herself busy with work, but deep down, she feels betrayed in a way words can't describe. The streets of Atlanta are buzzing, and even people outside the reality TV world are taking sides. Some see Kirk as the same man who never learned his lesson, while others think Jasmine is using him to get back in the spotlight. One local DJ said on air, "This whole thing feels like déjà vu. Same players, same heartbreak, and maybe that's what hurts Rasheeda the most, how familiar it all feels. The same cycle of rumors, apologies, and false promises that she thought they had left behind. But this time, something in her feels different, colder, stronger, like she's preparing for a final decision that will change everything." And as Atlanta settles into another night of gossip and speculation, one thing has become painfully clear. This isn't just another social media stunt gone too far. This is personal. This is the unraveling of a love story that fought too hard to survive, only to be tested again by the one thing it could never escape: the past. Fans were still reeling from Kirk's latest antics when the aftermath began to unfold in ways no one could have predicted. Rasheeda, normally the picture of composure and grace, was reportedly spotted by neighbors pacing outside her home late at night, phone in hand, scrolling through the endless flood of comments and messages. Some claimed she muttered under her breath, "How many times does he get to do this?" While others said she appeared visibly shaking, a rare crack in the armor she had meticulously built over the years. The house that had once been a sanctuary now felt like a battlefield. Every text notification a potential ambush, every news alert a fresh reminder of the betrayal that refused to stay buried. Meanwhile, Kirk seemed oddly unfazed publicly. He posted a cryptic story of his own, a black and white photo of him staring out a rainy window, captioned simply, "Things aren't always what they seem." Fans immediately dissected it, speculating whether he was apologizing, justifying, or taunting. Some even claimed to detect a hint of smug satisfaction in his tone, a subtle way of saying he had regained control of the narrative. Yet behind closed doors, sources whispered that Kirk was actually anxious, unsure of how Rasheeda would react next, and wrestling with the pressure of being scrutinized by millions. The duality of his public calm and private panic created a tension that only added fuel to the fire. The drama didn't stop there. Friends of Rasheeda revealed that she had convened an emergency family meeting with her close relatives and a few trusted friends. The conversation reportedly centered around one question: how to protect her sons from witnessing another emotional implosion caused by Kirk's behavior. Voices reportedly rose, emotions ran high, and at one point, someone allegedly slammed a hand on the table, exclaiming, "He's going to ruin everything if we let him." Others tried to reason, reminding everyone that Kirk had done wrong but also emphasizing the need for careful, measured responses. Yet Rasheeda seemed distant, listening quietly, eyes fixed on the floor, mind racing. She was weighing the cost of confrontation against the risk of appearing vulnerable, all while maintaining the fierce dignity fans had always admired. At the same time, Jasmine's camp was maneuvering strategically. Insiders revealed she had begun working with a team of publicists, photographers, and social media managers, creating content that kept her visible while subtly fueling the narrative of tension between her and Rasheeda. She posted another story, a boomerang of herself laughing with the caption, "Sometimes the past just catches up." The subtlety wasn't lost on fans, many of whom interpreted it as a direct jab at Rasheeda, hinting at inside knowledge of Kirk's intentions and actions. Forums and comment sections erupted with debates. Was Jasmine the mastermind behind rekindling old drama, or was she merely taking advantage of a situation that Kirk had created? As the week progressed, speculation extended to Kirk's business dealings and professional obligations. Rumors swirled that certain collaborations he had lined up with record labels and media companies were at risk, as fans expressed outrage over his perceived betrayal. Some industry insiders suggested that brands were reconsidering partnerships due to the negative attention, while others hinted that the controversy might actually boost visibility and ultimately profit for both Kirk and Jasmine. It became a twisted cycle of public shaming and opportunistic strategy, with every social media post scrutinized for hidden meaning, every interaction analyzed for subtext. Inside the Frost household, tensions escalated further. Sources reported that Rasheeda had begun setting firm boundaries, blocking Kirk from certain rooms and limiting conversations to the essentials. She allegedly instructed their children to maintain routines, emphasizing school, extracurriculars, and personal responsibilities, shielding them from the chaos swirling around their family. Yet, despite these measures, the emotional toll was undeniable. Friends of the family described late-night phone calls and whispered conversations filled with tears, venting, and moments of silent reflection. Every decision Rasheeda made carried weight. Not just for herself, but for the image of stability she had cultivated for years. Amidst this turbulence, social media speculation reached fever pitch. Memes and GIFs spread across platforms, many poking fun at Kirk's apparent inability to resist drama. Others were more empathetic, expressing outrage on behalf of Rasheeda, praising her patience and resilience while condemning Kirk for what they called emotional recklessness. Online polls asked fans to predict the next move, with options ranging from public confrontation to private reconciliation, and engagement rates skyrocketed. Journalists covering reality TV began filing rapid updates, some claiming insider access, others amplifying rumors, but all feeding into the escalating frenzy. Then came a twist that nobody saw coming. A mutual acquaintance leaked a recording of a phone conversation between Kirk and Jasmine, allegedly discussing plans that seemed to blur professional and personal boundaries. In the recording, Kirk's tone was casual but unmistakably familiar, and Jasmine's laughter suggested comfort beyond mere friendship. Fans dissected every word, replaying clips, creating transcripts, and debating motivations. This revelation sent the online community into a frenzy, dividing supporters and detractors along fault lines drawn by loyalty, morality, and curiosity. In response, Rasheeda reportedly intensified her focus on personal empowerment. Friends disclosed that she began collaborating on new projects, emphasizing creative control and independence. Interviews hinted at a renewed sense of self, with subtle references to boundaries, self-respect, and lessons learned. She was reclaiming her narrative, but the shadow of Kirk's actions loomed large. For fans, it became a compelling narrative. A woman standing tall amid scandal, balancing public expectations and private heartbreak. Yet the tension continued to mount. Insiders claimed that Kirk, sensing his position precarious, attempted private reconciliations, showing up unannounced at locations where Rasheeda was filming or conducting business. Reportedly, security and staff were instructed to keep interactions brief, but the mere presence stirred anxiety. Rasheeda, determined not to appear reactive, kept interactions polite but distant, signaling she would not be manipulated by gestures alone. The power dynamics had shifted. Kirk was no longer in control, and even minor actions could set off significant emotional reactions. Fans followed every development with fervor, and each post or public appearance seemed orchestrated to maximize intrigue. The lines between personal drama and entertainment blurred completely, as followers debated authenticity versus performance. Commentary sections filled with heated debates, accusations, and predictions, while some influencers began creating video breakdowns, analyzing body language and micro-expressions to support theories about motives and future outcomes. The saga had become an ecosystem of speculation, with every participant, including the audience, playing a role in the unfolding drama. As days turned into weeks, the tension between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine created ripple effects beyond their immediate circle. Mutual friends reportedly found themselves in awkward positions, pressured to take sides or act as intermediaries. Events such as industry gatherings became emotionally charged, with fans and insiders scrutinizing every handshake, glance, and smile for hidden meaning. The stakes were no longer confined to personal relationships. Professional reputations, brand partnerships, and public perception were all now part of the high-stakes game. Through it all, Rasheeda reportedly maintained her poise. Sources close to her say she kept journals, wrote letters she never sent, and spent time reflecting on her boundaries, values, and the future she wanted for herself and her family. This inner work contrasted sharply with the public spectacle, highlighting a dual narrative: the image of strength fans adored, and the private struggle to reconcile love, trust, and betrayal. Meanwhile, Kirk's attempts at narrative control seemed increasingly desperate. Every post, story, or comment was calculated, yet failed to achieve the intended effect of diminishing Rasheeda's resolve. And as social media storms raged on, the public became invested in every potential outcome. Hashtags, fan theories, and viral clips spread faster than any press release could contain. The drama became multi-layered. There was the immediate tension between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine, the secondary spectacle of fan speculation and commentary, and the tertiary consequences on professional opportunities and public image. Each layer intensified the next, creating a feedback loop of heightened attention, emotional stakes, and escalating consequences. By the end of the third week, it became clear that no one involved could return to the status quo. Insiders reported that Rasheeda had made a private decision about boundaries and interactions, signaling a potential turning point in the narrative. Kirk, however, remained publicly active. His social media a mix of ambiguous statements, professional updates, and subtle nods to the ongoing tension. Jasmine, for her part, appeared poised to continue leveraging visibility, maintaining a public presence that kept curiosity alive while leaving the ultimate resolution uncertain. In essence, the fallout from Kirk's selfie was no longer just about a single image. It had evolved into a complex web of personal betrayal, public scrutiny, emotional maneuvering, and strategic positioning. Every action carried potential consequences. Every interaction was interpreted through a lens of suspicion, and every public statement became a battleground for loyalty and narrative control. The stage was set for continued drama, with each player navigating a treacherous path where one misstep could escalate the tension beyond repair. And the audience remained riveted, waiting for the next move in a saga that had already proven both unpredictable and The situation escalated further when reports emerged that Kirk had been spotted leaving a private studio late at night with Jasmine, fueling rampant speculation that their connection went far beyond casual friendship or business. Eyewitnesses claimed the two were laughing, leaning close, and sharing what appeared to be private jokes. Fans immediately posted side-by-side comparisons of their body language with previous public interactions, dissecting every glance and smile as proof that the past was repeating itself. Social media erupted into chaos, with trending topics like hashtag Kirk and Jasmine again and hashtag Rasheeda's reaction dominating every gossip feed. Some viewers expressed outrage, accusing Kirk of disrespecting Rasheeda yet again, while others questioned why Jasmine would willingly step into such a volatile situation. Rasheeda, meanwhile, maintained a stoic front publicly, but those close to her revealed that behind closed doors, she was grappling with a storm of emotions. Friends claimed she spent hours pacing her home, speaking to confidants, and rereading past messages from Kirk, trying to find answers in words she once trusted. Reportedly, she told a friend, "I don't even recognize him anymore. It's like he's someone I never married." Yet despite the pain, she also seemed determined to reclaim control over the narrative. Sources said she was drafting a plan to respond strategically, balancing the need to protect her family, preserve her reputation, and confront Kirk in a way that would finally set clear boundaries. The intensity of the drama reached new heights when a leaked text from Kirk to Jasmine appeared online, allegedly hinting at a secret meeting and shared memories that many interpreted as emotional intimacy. Fans dissected every word, replaying it repeatedly and speculating on its meaning. While some insisted it was harmless nostalgia, others viewed it as undeniable evidence of emotional betrayal. The leak caused a ripple effect. Blogs and entertainment outlets rushed to cover the story within the story, turning private communications into a public spectacle. Discussion boards filled with fans taking sides, debating whether Rasheeda would forgive, retaliate, or walk away entirely. Amid the chaos, the children of Kirk and Rasheeda reportedly became an unexpected focal point. Insiders suggested that the family's older kids had begun expressing concern over the media attention, worried about how friends and classmates might perceive their household. Some claimed one of the teens asked, "Why can't they just leave it alone?" While younger siblings were reportedly confused by the sudden tension and constant online chatter. Friends of the family said Rasheeda was acutely aware of the impact on her children and had started creating a structured routine to shield them from the drama, insisting on school, extracurriculars, and family meals as a buffer against the emotional whirlwind. Additionally, the professional stakes were becoming apparent. Kirk's music projects and business ventures began drawing unwanted attention, with sponsors and collaborators reportedly watching every move. Insiders claimed that some brands reconsidered campaigns due to the negative publicity, while others speculated that controversy might inadvertently increase engagement and streaming numbers. Simultaneously, Rasheeda's business empire faced a different challenge, maintaining credibility and focus amidst constant questions about her personal life. She reportedly held emergency meetings with her management and marketing teams, reinforcing messaging around independence, resilience, and professionalism, while carefully avoiding direct commentary on Kirk or Jasmine to prevent fueling further speculation. Tensions peaked when a live radio segment featured a heated debate about the unfolding drama. Hosts replayed clips of Kirk and Jasmine together, analyzed past footage, and read fan reactions aloud. The discussion quickly turned polarized. Some commentators criticized Kirk for continuing patterns of betrayal, while others defended his right to private interactions and questioned whether the public was overreacting. Rasheeda reportedly listened to parts of the segment through a trusted friend, though she chose not to comment publicly. Friends said she found some relief in hearing measured perspectives. Yet the criticism toward Kirk only reinforced her frustration and sense of betrayal. The dynamic between Kirk and Jasmine also shifted as the weeks progressed. Insiders indicated that Kirk began spending more time strategizing about his public image, coordinating social media posts, and attending events with careful attention to optics. Meanwhile, Jasmine appeared increasingly comfortable in the spotlight, posting subtle content that hinted at closeness with Kirk without fully confirming any deeper connection. The interplay of secrecy and visibility kept fans guessing, turning each post into a speculative exercise that dominated online conversation. Discussion boards, memes, and hashtags fueled a continuous cycle of engagement, keeping the drama alive and ensuring that every action taken by any party was scrutinized in real time. Within the Frost household, the tension was palpable. Sources claimed that even mundane interactions, family dinners, casual conversations, phone calls were laced with caution and careful navigation. Rasheeda reportedly enforced clear boundaries with Kirk, insisting on limited interactions and emphasizing the emotional well-being of the family. Friends observed that while Kirk attempted to maintain appearances of normalcy, his gestures and comments were closely monitored by Rasheeda, creating an atmosphere of quiet vigilance. The emotional intensity, combined with the public scrutiny, created a pressure cooker situation that seemed primed for either confrontation or dramatic revelation. Meanwhile, fans speculated endlessly about potential reconciliation, confrontation, or ultimate separation. Forums, social media platforms, and entertainment blogs became echo chambers of opinion, filled with predictions, warnings, and personal judgments. Some followers rooted for Rasheeda to stand firm, praising her strength and resilience, while others hoped for a dramatic twist that would allow Kirk a redemption arc. The narrative became self-perpetuating. The more fans engaged, the more intense the drama appeared, creating a feedback loop that amplified every misstep, comment, or ambiguous post. In addition, insiders reported that Rasheeda began quietly documenting the entire ordeal, journaling, recording thoughts, and even drafting potential statements she might release if needed. Friends claimed this was both therapeutic and strategic, allowing her to process emotions while retaining control over public messaging. The dual approach of private reflection and measured public silence added to the suspense, leaving audiences speculating about her next move and the potential fallout for Kirk and Jasmine. As social media frenzy continued, Kirk allegedly attempted to regain some control by reaching out to mutual friends and industry contacts, seeking advice on how to navigate public perception. Insiders claimed he expressed frustration over the viral nature of the posts and their impact on his family's reputation, while simultaneously defending his choices and denying wrongdoing. The juxtaposition of public calm and private anxiety created further intrigue, with fans analyzing his tone and behavior for hidden meaning or subtle admissions. Amid all of this, rumors of potential media appearances surfaced. Some insiders hinted that producers from reality television and entertainment outlets were in talks with Kirk and Jasmine, offering opportunities to tell their version of events. While details remained unconfirmed, the mere possibility added layers of speculation, with fans debating whether such appearances would clarify the situation or exacerbate tensions. The interplay of personal decisions, public visibility, and strategic media engagement transformed what might have been a private conflict into a multi-dimensional spectacle that captivated national attention. Ultimately, the narrative surrounding Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine became a complex tapestry of emotion, strategy, and public engagement. Every gesture, post, and interaction was analyzed for intent, meaning, and potential consequence. The combination of personal betrayal, professional stakes, and the omnipresence of social media ensured that the drama would continue evolving, leaving fans and insiders alike in suspense, eager to witness the next twist in a story that seemed to defy resolution and continuously test the limits of trust, loyalty, and public scrutiny. The next wave of drama hit when Rasheeda reportedly decided to take a more public stance, though carefully measured to maintain her dignity. Sources said she agreed to a short interview with a trusted media outlet, one that focused on her business and creative projects rather than Kirk or Jasmine directly. But the timing itself sent fans into a frenzy. Every phrase she spoke was scrutinized, a subtle mention of boundaries, a throwaway comment about learning from the past, each interpreted as a pointed message to Kirk. Insiders suggested that her measured approach was intentional, aiming to assert control while avoiding the pitfalls of overt confrontation. Yet it only fueled the speculation that something more significant was brewing behind the scenes. As the interview circulated online, Kirk allegedly reacted with a mixture of frustration and calculated calm. Insiders claimed he was monitoring the public response, adjusting his own posts, and consulting with advisors on damage control. His strategy appeared to rely on ambiguity posting, vague captions, liking certain fan comments, and sharing music clips that fans immediately dissected for hidden meanings. Social media analysts noted that every move seemed designed to sustain attention without explicitly escalating conflict. Yet the tension was palpable. The dance between public restraint and private maneuvering became the central narrative, keeping audiences glued to every development. Rumors of behind-the-scenes confrontations began surfacing. Friends of the couple claimed that Rasheeda and Kirk had brief but intense exchanges late at night, often revolving around trust, accountability, and the impact of the social media frenzy on their children. Reportedly, one conversation ended with Rasheeda firmly stating, "I won't let this destroy my peace," signaling a turning point in how she intended to handle Kirk's actions. Sources said Kirk responded defensively, citing intentions and past misunderstandings, but insiders emphasized that Rasheeda's resolve had hardened, and she was no longer willing to tolerate ambiguity or repeated breaches of trust. Meanwhile, Jasmine maintained a subtle yet powerful presence online. She posted carefully curated content, smiles, fashion shots, studio glimpses that kept her visible and relevant while leaving the interpretation of her relationship with Kirk open. Fans speculated endlessly. Were they collaborating professionally, reconnecting personally, or orchestrating a narrative for maximum attention? Discussion boards exploded with fan theories, ranging from reconciliation to secret projects, fueling the ongoing social media firestorm. Influencers and bloggers capitalized on the buzz, creating countdowns, reaction videos, and analysis segments that amplified the drama exponentially. The Frost children reportedly became more aware of the tension than ever. Insiders suggested that older kids, already sensitive to public perception, were asking pointed questions, seeking reassurance from their mother. Friends of Rasheeda indicated she made extra efforts to shield them emotionally, establishing routines and keeping explanations age-appropriate, while reinforcing lessons of resilience and personal boundaries. Despite these protective measures, the children were inevitably exposed to gossip, online commentary, and whispered conversations from adults, creating a complex environment for family dynamics that added layers of stress and emotional responsibility for Rasheeda. Professionally, Kirk's reputation seemed to teeter between opportunity and risk. Insiders reported that brands, labels, and collaborators were closely monitoring public sentiment, weighing whether association with him would benefit or harm their projects. While some suggested the ongoing controversy could drive visibility and engagement, others cautioned that repeated patterns of perceived betrayal might diminish trust and long-term credibility. Simultaneously, Rasheeda's ventures benefited from heightened public attention, with fans rallying behind her as a symbol of strength and independence, providing both emotional support and potential commercial advantage. Amidst all this, social media remained a relentless force. Memes, reaction videos, comment threads, and viral hashtags perpetuated the cycle of scrutiny and speculation. One trending topic even compared Kirk's current behavior to previous incidents, highlighting recurring patterns and emphasizing fan frustration. The constant barrage of public attention created pressure not only on Kirk and Rasheeda, but also on mutual friends, collaborators, and even casual observers caught in the narrative's gravitational pull. Every post, story, or comment became a potential flashpoint, ensuring that the drama remained front and center in public discourse. Insiders claimed that private interventions were attempted, with family members and mutual acquaintances reaching out to mediate, offer counsel, or request temporary distance to allow tempers to cool. Reportedly, some attempts were rebuffed, while others led to tense, emotionally charged conversations. Friends described these interactions as delicate, requiring careful navigation to avoid escalation, as any misstep could reignite public speculation or deepen personal grievances. The balance between private resolution and public performance became increasingly complex. With each party aware that their actions were under constant scrutiny, rumors continued to swirl regarding possible reconciliations or new collaborations. Insiders alleged that Kirk had privately suggested joint appearances or interviews with Jasmine, a proposal that some viewed as provocative given the circumstances. Rasheeda's camp reportedly rejected any such suggestion, emphasizing boundaries and the need to prioritize emotional well-being over potential media opportunities. The tension between opportunity, temptation, and principle underscored the ongoing narrative, creating a high-stakes environment in which every decision carried amplified consequences. At the same time, fans maintained an active and influential role in the unfolding story. Forums, comment threads, and fan pages dissected every action, posting analyses of expressions, tone, and timing. Social media sentiment appeared to fluctuate with each new post or story, demonstrating the powerful interplay between public perception and personal behavior. Insiders suggested that both Kirk and Rasheeda were acutely aware of this dynamic, carefully weighing each move against potential fan reaction, media coverage, and long-term implications for reputation and relationships. Throughout the ongoing saga, the emotional stakes remained intensely personal. Friends described Rasheeda as channeling hurt, frustration, and disappointment into strategic decisions, balancing empathy for her family with assertiveness in maintaining personal boundaries. Kirk, according to sources, oscillated between defensiveness, strategic positioning, and attempts to regain trust, highlighting the complex interplay of emotion, ego, and public perception. Jasmine, as a third party, maintained visibility and intrigue, creating a triangle of attention, speculation, and uncertainty that kept audiences captivated. The narrative, in essence, became a multi-layered drama that transcended personal conflict. It encompassed emotional intensity, media strategy, public engagement, professional stakes, and family dynamics, each element interacting with the others in unpredictable ways. Fans, insiders, and media observers found themselves drawn into a story that combined betrayal, resilience, strategic communication, and the enduring question of whether trust could ever be fully restored. Every gesture, post, and interaction contributed to the evolving landscape, ensuring that the drama would continue to unfold with new twists, heightened stakes, and an audience eager for the next development. By now, it was clear that this chapter of Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine's lives would not resolve quietly. The interplay of personal emotion, public scrutiny, and professional considerations created an ongoing narrative that remained unpredictable, intense, and endlessly engaging. The lines between reality and spectacle blurred, drawing fans ever deeper into the saga, with each day offering new opportunities for revelation, confrontation, or resolution. The anticipation of what would happen next kept everyone on edge, cementing the story as one of the most compelling and talked-about dramas in recent memory. The tension escalated further when a leaked video surfaced showing Kirk and Jasmine in what appeared to be a private meeting at a high-end studio. Their body language, intimate yet ambiguous. The footage, short but explosive, featured Kirk leaning close to Jasmine while laughing, his hand brushing against hers in a manner that some fans interpreted as casual, while others insisted it was unmistakably personal. Social media immediately exploded, with reaction videos, fan threads, and blog posts dissecting every second. Some argued that the clip proved Kirk was ignoring Rasheeda's boundaries, while others speculated it was a staged publicity stunt to stir drama. Hashtags like #Kirk and Jasmine leak and #Rasheed as revenge began trending nationally, dominating feeds and comment sections. Rasheeda, reportedly seeing the video hours after it appeared online, maintained her composure publicly but privately was said to be deeply hurt. Friends claimed she spent the night pacing, reviewing the clip repeatedly, and drafting potential responses, though she ultimately decided to hold back from posting anything, instead confiding in close allies. One insider revealed she texted a friend, "I've never felt so invisible," and watched at the same time. The paradox of public scrutiny and private anguish underscored the immense pressure she was under, balancing family, business, and personal emotions all while in the spotlight. Kirk, on the other hand, seemed to embrace the attention with calculated moves. Insiders suggested he monitored reactions obsessively, liking fan posts that either defended or criticized him, crafting a digital persona that was enigmatic and elusive. He reportedly shared music snippets and studio updates with captions hinting at resilience, redemption, or mystery, each carefully timed to maintain intrigue. Fans immediately speculated on hidden messages, with discussions over whether he was signaling reconciliation, defiance, or a combination of both. The ambiguity only intensified the narrative, keeping audiences guessing and media outlets reporting relentlessly. Meanwhile, Jasmine leveraged the attention strategically. Sources claimed she ramped up her social media presence, sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses, fitness posts, and subtle lifestyle content that appeared innocent yet kept the public fixated on her and Kirk's connection. Fans debated her motives fiercely. Some believed she was genuinely working on professional projects with Kirk, while others accused her of deliberately stirring tension. Every post, story, and interaction became a potential clue in the sprawling drama, further fueling speculation and engagement. Inside the Frost household, tension remained high. Friends close to Rasheeda indicated she enforced strict boundaries with Kirk, limiting interactions and emphasizing family unity despite the external chaos. Reportedly, she held private meetings with their children to reassure them and maintain routines, reinforcing a sense of normalcy. Friends described her as calm but resolute, a stark contrast to the chaos outside. Insiders emphasized that her approach reflected a deep understanding of both public perception and personal well-being, as she sought to shield her family from collateral damage while asserting control over her own narrative. Industry insiders noted the broader impact of the scandal. Kirk's professional projects, including music collaborations and media appearances, were reportedly under intense scrutiny, with some partners wary of association due to potential public backlash. At the same time, Rasheeda's brand and business ventures appeared bolstered by public sympathy and support. As fans rallied behind her strength and resilience, the interplay between personal drama and professional stakes created a high-pressure environment, where every decision carried amplified consequences for both parties. The social media frenzy intensified when influencers and reality TV commentators began producing detailed breakdowns of interactions, body language, and social media posts. Fans flooded comment sections with analyses, theories, and speculation, effectively turning the personal conflict into a multi-platform entertainment spectacle. Insiders suggested that both Kirk and Rasheeda were acutely aware of this, carefully managing public communications while navigating private emotions, a balancing act fraught with tension and potential missteps. Rumors of possible interventions or reconciliations began circulating. Some sources claimed that mutual friends attempted to mediate, encouraging open dialogue and honesty between Kirk and Rasheeda. Reportedly, these attempts led to private, emotionally charged conversations that revealed lingering mistrust, unresolved feelings, and frustration over public exposure. Insiders suggested that Rasheeda remained firm in her boundaries, unwilling to allow reconciliation without accountability, while Kirk reportedly oscillated between defensive explanations and attempts to justify his actions, creating a delicate and tense atmosphere. Fans also speculated about potential media appearances, interviews, or reality TV opportunities. Insiders hinted that producers were exploring storylines that could feature all three parties, capitalizing on public interest. While some viewed this as an opportunity for transparency, others warned it could further complicate relationships and emotions. The mere possibility added tension, as decisions about participation carried consequences for reputation, narrative control, and personal integrity. Throughout all of this, Rasheeda reportedly maintained a private strategy of reflection, documenting experiences and emotions while weighing her next moves carefully. Friends emphasized her resilience and focus, noting that she balanced vulnerability with strategic thinking, seeking to maintain dignity and clarity amidst chaos. Kirk, in contrast, appeared increasingly concerned with public perception, attempting to shape narratives through subtle posts and controlled interactions. Jasmine's calculated visibility continued to stir speculation, keeping all parties entwined in a high-stakes emotional and public spectacle. The narrative, as insiders described, had evolved into a multi-layered drama encompassing betrayal, strategy, emotional complexity, and public scrutiny. Fans and observers remained captivated, dissecting every post, interaction, and statement. While the protagonists navigated personal consequences and professional stakes, each day brought new developments, speculation, and tension, ensuring that the saga would continue unfolding in unpredictable and compelling ways. The interplay of private emotion and public performance created a relentless cycle of attention, reaction, and narrative escalation, making it clear that this chapter of Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine's lives was far from over. Amidst the intensity, the emotional stakes remained deeply personal. Insiders described Rasheeda as drawing strength from self-reflection, family support, and professional focus, while Kirk wrestled with the consequences of actions that were increasingly public and interpreted in multiple ways. Jasmine's presence maintained suspense, ambiguity, and intrigue, effectively creating a triangle of attention, speculation, and emotional complexity that captivated audiences. Every gesture, interaction, and post became part of a broader story of loyalty, trust, and consequence. The unfolding saga demonstrated the complex interplay between personal emotion, public scrutiny, and strategic communication. Insiders noted that every action, whether a casual post, private conversation, or public statement, had ripple effects across social media, fan communities, and professional networks. The feedback loop between perception and behavior intensified the drama, making each decision increasingly consequential. Fans and media alike remained riveted, interpreting every nuance and predicting outcomes with fervent anticipation. Ultimately, the situation underscored the difficulty of navigating relationships in the digital age, where personal actions are instantly public and subject to relentless analysis. The intersection of family, emotion, professional ambition, and social media attention created a high-pressure environment in which every choice carried potential fallout. Insiders emphasized that the ongoing saga reflected both the vulnerabilities and strengths of those involved, highlighting resilience, accountability, and the complex challenges of maintaining personal boundaries in a world of constant observation. As the weeks passed, the story continued to evolve, with each post, story, and interaction adding layers of complexity. The combination of emotional intensity, public attention, and strategic maneuvering ensured that the narrative remained compelling and unpredictable. Fans, insiders, and media outlets were all caught up in a drama that blended personal stakes with public spectacle, creating an ongoing saga that captivated audiences and kept the tension high. Every move promised new revelations, confrontations, and potential resolutions, leaving everyone watching with anticipation, ready for the next twist in the intricate web of Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine's story. The drama reached another level when rumors circulated that Kirk had been spotted attending an exclusive industry event with Jasmine, seemingly unbothered by the ongoing controversy. Eyewitnesses claimed that he appeared confident, laughing and joking with attendees, while Jasmine was reportedly by his side, sharing whispered conversations that suggested a familiarity raising eyebrows. Social media exploded once again, with fans posting clips, screenshots, and heated commentary. Some insisted this was proof of ongoing personal involvement, while others speculated it was purely professional. Though the ambiguity only heightened public fascination, hashtags like #KirkJasmineEvent and #RASHEED dominated trending topics, keeping the narrative alive across platforms. Rasheeda, reportedly monitoring the event from afar through social media updates and insider reports, maintained her usual public calm, yet sources claimed she was deeply affected privately. Friends said she spent the evening reviewing messages from trusted allies, discussing potential responses, and reflecting on her next strategic move. Insiders revealed that she was determined not to act impulsively, emphasizing a thoughtful approach that balanced personal dignity with the need to protect her family's emotional well-being. Reportedly, she told a confidant, "I can't control their choices, only how I respond." Meanwhile, Kirk continued to navigate the public scrutiny with a mix of calculated moves and ambiguous messaging. Insiders suggested he posted stories with cryptic captions, including quotes about trust, growth, and resilience, leaving fans to interpret whether he was apologetic, defiant, or hinting at reconciliation. The calculated ambiguity fueled speculation, with online forums dissecting every word, gesture, and post. Every subtle interaction became fodder for debate. Were these signs of genuine emotion, a publicity tactic, or a combination of both? The uncertainty kept audiences engaged, heightening the stakes of the unfolding drama. Jasmine's presence remained strategically consistent. Sources indicated that she maintained a strong, visible online persona, posting content that was seemingly innocent yet suggestive of a deeper connection with Kirk. Fans analyzed body language, timing, and captions, debating whether her posts were professional, personal, or deliberately provocative. Influencers and entertainment commentators produced reaction videos, interviews, and analyses, further amplifying public interest. Insiders suggested that Jasmine's calculated visibility served both to maintain her relevance and to keep the drama circulating in public discourse. Inside the Frost household, tension continued to mount. Friends of Rasheeda said she enforced strict routines to maintain stability for her children, including school, extracurricular activities, and family dinners, minimizing exposure to the ongoing social media frenzy. Reportedly, she emphasized resilience and self-respect, using the experience as a teaching moment for her children about boundaries, emotional intelligence, and public perception. Despite the challenges, insiders described her as composed, strategically managing her public image while processing intense private emotions. Professional stakes added another layer to the story. Kirk's music projects, brand partnerships, and public appearances were reportedly under scrutiny by collaborators concerned about negative publicity. Some insiders suggested that brands hesitated to associate with him, while others believed the controversy could increase engagement and visibility, a double-edged sword of attention. Simultaneously, Rasheeda's ventures seemed to benefit from public support, fans rallying behind her as a figure of strength and integrity. The interplay between personal drama and professional implications created a complex environment where every action had amplified consequences. The ongoing social media frenzy only intensified the situation. Memes, fan theories, live reactions, and comment threads dissected every new post, video, and story. Insiders indicated that both Kirk and Rasheeda were acutely aware of this, carefully curating public appearances and messaging to navigate perception while protecting personal boundaries. The omnipresence of public attention transformed what might have been private conflict into an intricate, multi-platform spectacle, with each action magnified and scrutinized by millions of viewers. Reports of private conversations and interventions began surfacing again. Friends and family reportedly attempted to mediate, suggesting calm dialogue and honest discussion to reduce tension. Insiders said some conversations were emotionally charged, revealing unresolved frustrations, lingering mistrust, and the complexity of navigating relationships under intense public scrutiny. Sources claimed Rasheeda remained firm in her boundaries, unwilling to compromise on principles of respect and family stability, while Kirk appeared conflicted, alternating between defensive explanations and attempts to regain trust. Rumors of media opportunities and interviews added another twist. Insiders hinted that reality TV producers and entertainment outlets were exploring storylines featuring all three parties, hoping to capitalize on public interest. While participation could provide clarity or generate revenue, it also risked amplifying the conflict and emotional strain. The possibility alone heightened tension, as every potential decision carried implications for personal reputation, professional prospects, and public narrative control. Throughout the unfolding saga, Rasheeda reportedly focused on reflection, documenting her experiences and emotions while contemplating strategic responses. Friends emphasized her resilience, noting that she balanced vulnerability with thoughtful planning, maintaining dignity amidst intense scrutiny. Kirk, in contrast, appeared increasingly attentive to public perception, carefully curating interactions, posts, and appearances to maintain influence over the narrative. Jasmine's visible presence continued to stir speculation, creating a triangle of tension, intrigue, and uncertainty that captivated audiences. The narrative had evolved into a layered drama encompassing betrayal, strategic maneuvering, emotional intensity, and public scrutiny. Fans and media dissected every action, statement, and gesture, drawing the story out across multiple platforms. Insiders suggested that every post, interaction, and decision influenced public perception and internal dynamics, creating a feedback loop that amplified drama and engagement. The saga had become a case study in modern celebrity conflict, blending personal stakes with the relentless gaze of social media. Emotional stakes remained deeply personal. Insiders described Rasheeda channeling frustration and disappointment into carefully considered decisions, protecting her family while asserting boundaries. Kirk reportedly struggled with consequences amplified by public scrutiny, while Jasmine's strategic visibility added unpredictability and suspense. Every interaction contributed to the broader narrative of trust, loyalty, and accountability, keeping audiences intensely engaged and invested. The interplay between personal emotion, public attention, and strategic communication underscored the complexity of the situation. Insiders noted that even minor actions carried ripple effects across social media, fan communities, and professional networks. The feedback loop between perception and behavior intensified, creating pressure on all parties to navigate carefully. Fans, media, and observers remained captivated, speculating on motives, predicting outcomes, and awaiting each new development with fervent anticipation. Ultimately, the saga illustrated the challenges of balancing personal relationships, public scrutiny, and professional obligations in a digital age. Insiders emphasized the resilience, strategic thinking, and emotional complexity required to navigate such circumstances. Every choice, from a social media post to a private conversation, carried consequences for reputation, family stability, and public narrative. Fans remained riveted, eagerly anticipating the next twist in a story that blended personal drama, professional stakes, and public spectacle in ways that continued to captivate audiences. As the weeks progressed, each post, story, and interaction added new layers of intrigue. The combined forces of emotional intensity, media attention, and strategic maneuvering ensured the narrative remained unpredictable and compelling. Fans, insiders, and commentators were drawn deeper into a drama that merged private conflict with public spectacle, creating an ongoing saga that promised new revelations, confrontations, and emotional developments. Anticipation grew for each next move, solidifying the story as a captivating and unmissable reality TV-style drama. And now, after everything we've just uncovered, the question on everyone's mind remains: what will happen next in this whirlwind of drama between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine? Fans have watched every post, dissected every glance, and debated every interaction, and now it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think about Kirk's actions? Was he simply misinterpreted, or is this a pattern of betrayal that can't be ignored? And Rasheeda, how do you feel about her strategy? Her calm and calculated responses, and her unwavering focus on family while navigating this storm. As the public continues to analyze, speculate, and form opinions, your voice matters just as much as anyone else's in this conversation. We've seen the impact of social media, where every story, every clip, and every post can ignite a frenzy and turn private matters into public spectacle. It's fascinating how fans like you become part of the story, shaping narratives, driving discussions, and keeping the drama alive. By engaging with this content, commenting your thoughts, and sharing your perspective, you're not just watching, you're influencing the conversation. Are you Team Rasheeda, rooting for her strength and resilience? Or do you see Kirk's actions in a different light, considering the complexity of relationships under public scrutiny? Perhaps Jasmine's presence adds another layer to consider, as she navigates her own role in a situation that has captivated so many. The reality is, this saga isn't just about celebrity gossip, it's about understanding human emotion, the consequences of actions, and the way public perception can transform personal conflict into a nationwide discussion. When you leave a comment, you become part of the dialogue, joining millions of others who are invested in these stories of loyalty, betrayal, and resilience. Your opinion can spark debate, foster discussion, and even offer insights that others may not have considered. Every like, share, and comment amplifies the narrative, keeping everyone engaged and contributing to the unfolding drama. And let's not forget, the story isn't over. Each day brings potential new revelations, fresh social media posts, or insider leaks that could shift the balance once again. As you continue to follow along, think about what actions you would take if you were in Rasheeda's position. How would you respond to public scrutiny while protecting your family? What boundaries would you enforce, and how would you navigate the tension between personal emotion and public perception? Similarly, consider Kirk's perspective. How do you balance public attention with personal relationships, especially when every move is magnified and analyzed? These questions aren't just hypothetical. They're part of why this story captivates millions, and why your engagement is so vital. By subscribing to the channel, you ensure you don't miss any twists in this ongoing saga. Each new update, each new leak, and each new interaction adds layers to a story that is as unpredictable as it is compelling. Notifications mean you'll be among the first to witness every development, from social media posts to private confrontations that eventually come to light. By staying connected, you become part of the audience that keeps this drama alive, ensuring that the story continues to evolve and that the conversation never dies. Liking the video isn't just about supporting about showing that you're part of the community that watches closely, debates fiercely, and values insight into these celebrity dynamics. Your likes contribute to the visibility of this story, helping it reach others who may have missed the latest twist or who are eager to join the conversation. Every engagement strengthens the narrative, turning private drama into shared experience, where opinions, theories, and predictions are exchanged daily. And of course, commenting is where your voice truly matters. Share your take on Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine, your insights, your theories, your predictions. Will Kirk attempt to make amends? Will Rasheeda stand her ground? Or will new developments force a surprising twist? How will Jasmine's role evolve in the eyes of the public and within the dynamics of this triangle? Your comment could spark dialogue, ignite discussion threads, and even influence the way others perceive the situation. The power of your perspective cannot be underestimated, especially in a story that thrives on public engagement and interpretation. Sharing the video allows you to bring friends, family, and fellow fans into the conversation. Every share expands the circle of engagement, turning speculation into community discussion. As more people weigh in, the story grows richer, the drama more compelling, and the collective anticipation for what happens next more intense. Your action to share doesn't just spread content, it fuels the ongoing narrative, contributing to a culture of active and passionate engagement around this sensational story. Finally, remember that your engagement keeps the story alive. By liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing, you participate in a real-time conversation that spans social media, blogs, and forums, transforming what might be a private conflict into a shared cultural phenomenon. Your voice adds context, your perspective adds dimension, and your predictions add suspense. Every click, every comment, every interaction matters, making you an essential part of the drama as it unfolds. So now, it's over to you. Tell us what you think. Are you Team Rasheeda, standing with her through every challenge and betrayal? Or do you see Kirk's side, navigating complexities of emotion, loyalty, and public scrutiny? How do you interpret Jasmine's role, her visibility, and her influence on this unfolding story? Your opinion matters, your engagement shapes the conversation, and your voice becomes part of the ongoing drama. Don't just watch, participate, share, and help keep this story alive as we continue to bring you every shocking update, every twist, and every emotional moment in this extraordinary saga.